Morning, folks. This is a 2004 Whirlpool Duet dryer, and as you can see, it's seen better days. This dryer does currently work, but it doesn't work very well. It hasn't worked properly for almost 5 years, pretty much ever since its partner died and was replaced with this flashy Korean junk. Right now I'm working on getting this machine back to 100% because I really like this machine. I think it deserves to stay here, and I'll tell you why. Number one, this machine is from what I call the transition era of appliances. I don't know if it's just some term I made up. But basically, this is when they first started putting electronics in, appliances. Like, I know this, that was a thing since before 2004, but this is an older design, reminiscent of that era. And it has very simple electronics. It doesn't try to wow you with these stupid flashy bright white lights and stupid chimes. It's just a simple, no-nonsense electronic design that does everything you need it to do and nothing more. It's nice and reliable and hasn't had any issues. The control board has never failed because back then they seemed to make them with more robust components. Either that or because of the fact that they were simpler, there was less things to go wrong. So, as a result, we've never had any issues with the electronics of this machine or even its partner, which is unfortunately no longer with us. That machine had actually failed because of a spider bracket failure. For those of you who don't know, you probably shouldn't use fabric softener in front loaders because the fabric softener never truly washes away. It accumulates on the spider bracket, which is behind this, and it corrodes over time, and it might let go of the spinning drum one day and it'll make quite a bit of a racket, and that's the end of your machine. It's not really worth replacing a spider bracket, and if you have a Samsung machine, the drum might even exit out the side. Anyways, let's get back to discussing the issues that this machine unfortunately suffers from. And I'm gonna fix it all because I believe this machine deserves to stick around because, well, pretty much anything on a dryer can be fixed cheaply and much cheaper than buying a new dryer. I believe pretty much the only thing that can total this dryer is a control panel failure, which I think is unlikely after an inspection of the board, and this front panel. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, knock on wood. So let me give you a little backstory on what happened. So approximately 5 years ago, strangely enough, around the time that the matching machine had failed, this dryer began to, well, it wouldn't heat anymore, like nothing at all. The heating element wasn't getting any power. And what had happened was the thermal fuse had blown, and we were very perplexed as to why that had happened. So I replaced the thermal fuse with an OEM one, and it blew again on the next load, and we checked the pipes and everything. There was no restriction. This isn't great, I know, but it's like I'm working on it. So there was no restriction. The lint filter is always cleaned, that's fine. The blower housing and everything, this was all opened up. Nothing wrong with that. So what could it be? Well, we ended up calling a repairman, and this guy was a hack. So what this guy had done is something really dangerous, and it's still in this machine now, is he took the thermal fuse, which should have been right there, and he replaced it with a second thermal cutoff, like the thermo discs, the resettable ones. So that means if that was ever to short out or fail for whatever reason, the heating element would just keep on glowing and it would probably start a fire. And also, both of these thermostats are the wrong temperature, so the dryer doesn't dry clothes on the normal cycle at all. Well, no, it dries them, but it leaves them damp on any cycle except heavy duty. But on heavy duty, it shrinks all the clothes because it gets too hot because the temperature is set to high. And another problem, like the reason the thermal fuse was blowing in the first place was discovered recently by me. So the belt had broken and I ordered a replacement, and while doing that I'd noticed that there was a razor blade, this one to be exact, was wedged in here by the drum seal, and it had pretty much completely cut the seal open. Like the seal has like no structural strength to it whatsoever now. The front drum seal is more easily seen from inside the dryer. This is the inside, by the way. So there's the rear one, that's good. If you push it, it doesn't really give way easily. But this one, it just, yeah. It pretty much disappears as soon as you touch it. So I believe there's a massive air leak around there. And air is coming in from an unintended source and bypassing the heater. So the heater is not getting enough flow and overheating. And I believe that to be the issue. The original heater had gotten so hot that the steel frame had actually cracked due to the expansion or the metal fatigue. That's some scary shit. This is an original heater, CFSP, 240 volts, 5400 watts, and that is the part number if you need one of these. They're still widely available. So essentially what happens when the dryer's running on any cycle is this immediately gets too hot, and then the thermal cutoff cuts in before even like a minute passes. And then it turns off, and then when it cools down, it kicks back in, and it just keeps repeating that over and over again, and the fatigue eventually broke this heating element. And that's dead. I got another aftermarket one because I didn't want to spend that much. And after 5 years, this one has failed due to the same reason. I didn't know what was wrong at the time. If I did, I would have put an end to it sooner. I've ordered a new drum seal. I'm just waiting for it to come in. I've ordered another heating element. But we needed to get through the week, so this is what I had to do in order to get the heating element working again. So what I had actually done with the heating element that's in the dryer right now is I took these two severed ends, I put them together like that, and I twisted them together with a pair of pliers, completing the circuit again, slightly shortening the heating element, making it run even hotter than it already was. So I do keep an eye on this while it's running. I have all the covers off so that I can see if there's any fireworks going on inside. And when it's running, you can see a pretty scary hot spot right where I made the splice, but it's been hanging in there for now. And I don't recommend you do this. It's really dangerous, and it's not a permanent repair. It's just going to break again. Order the correct part and make sure everything's all good. So this currently does dry close, but once again, it's still overheating like it has been for 5 years. We only run it with supervision at the moment. Once all the parts come in, hopefully, it'll be good as new again. I'll just pull this cover off and maybe we can catch a glimpse of that hot spot that I'm talking about. Who knows, maybe the element might even break while I shoot this, knowing my luck. Ooh. Oh, I thought it was a quarter. So that there is the heating element. I don't know if it's gonna... Oh yeah, there you can see the splice where I twisted the two wires together. Oh, focus, you fuck! Okay, well you get it. You saw it there for a second. Oh, there it is. Yep, that's where the two nichrome element parts halves were reconnected together. Also, don't touch any of this while it's plugged in. I believe one of these phases is still live, so this is still live with 120 volts. Do not touch this. Don't do what you're doing. In fact, don't even watch this video. Anyways, let's power up the old girl and see what she does. Oh, you can already see a terrifying glow right there. That is the splice. I'm actually scared looking at this right now. But yep, it's working. And I believe it's glowing too much because, like, I don't think it's supposed to glow this much. There's just not enough airflow because of that leaking seal. Realistically, this dryer should never have been used after this problem was discovered, but 5 years. Nothing bad's happened, knock on wood. I'm surprised the heating element hasn't cycled off yet. Oh, there you go. One of those high limit thermostats just cut it out. Anyways, let's stop wasting electricity. So there you have it. Those are the issues this thing currently suffers from, and hopefully in the near future it'll be all back to normal because, well, I really like this old thing. It has a lot of charm to it. It's very well built. And they definitely don't make them like they used to. So anyways, thanks for watching and have some fun under the glowing resistive sun.